Hi, this is Winston. We haven't been to this house in a little while. I've been kind of dragging my behind on it because we got other projects that I've felt are more important than finishing this house up. So we have been on this house for months, but then we knew we had talked about Amazon going in the back. So I started to make a decision. Do I want to finish the house? Do I want to sell off the property? What do we want to do? So we just kind of put it on a back burner for a little while and held off on it. Now we have elected to go ahead and just hold this property for maybe a couple more years and let Amazon do what Amazon's going to do. They're bringing in 1,500 employees. So as they're bringing all these employees, we want to be able to maybe capitalize for the best deal on this land. We own this piece of property and the property next to it, and it'll be a good piece of property to sell off eventually. So we came over, we met with codes. Coders wanted us to put a handicap parking spot in here, and that handicap parking spot needed to have a 2% grade for the water to run off. So we came in. We did not want to do it in asphalt. When I got a price of doing with asphalt or doing with concrete, I could go ahead and I could concrete it and then asphalt up to the concrete and actually save money. So we went ahead and just concreted it. We put some railings up, and they didn't want any railings to be childproof or anything. So you notice there's no it's just a handrail. It's just a handicap handrail. So we came in here. I haven't been over here. They're not finished yet. You can look at one over there. So they still don't have them all up. Let's go in. I haven't even seen the inside of it in forever. So let's go see where they are. Kind of like the last house we just went on. Y'all getting a look at it, same as I'm getting a look at it, and we will see what that looks like.
Are you required to have that sign?
I'm assuming they're required. I wasn't part of the inspection with the city, so I'm assuming they probably did make us put that sign there so that we designate the handicap parking. Either that, or we could probably paint it on the ground, or we could put a sign up. We might wind up needing to do both. I don't know. We'll see what they make us do. We'll find a key here. This particular place was a rental house for us, and it's right in the city. So we made the election after the last people moved out of it that we were going to turn it into a commercial rental rather than a residential home, because we felt like we could get a better bang for our buck, and we felt like it was a better investment for us. So that's why we came and we went with that. So we came in, we pulled all of the drywall. There wasn't drywall, it was mostly paneling in here. So we pulled the paneling off of the walls. We put a VCT tile down. That used to be a carport over here. So we had to come in, and they required us to put an ADA bathroom in. So this bathroom right here is an ADA approved bathroom. They still got a little punch list to do here. It isn't finished, but it isn't far from it either. Nothing fancy, just a regular work bathroom. We could go in and do a lot more fancy stuff. Does that fancy stuff bring you more money? In some applications, it does bring you more money. In this particular application, I don't see it as bringing us any more money. So we did what we needed to do. We did a good layout for people so that whoever rents it has a good place to conduct their business. But it's nothing fancy. It's going to be an office. This is just a little break room that we built. We put the bathroom there, and then we wanted to come in, and we just went ahead and filled this in the rest of the way. Got a little step up right there. I don't know. Somebody could put some shelving back there. They could put products back there. You could put a door on and put a closet on if we wanted to. But it's whatever. Right now, that's what it is. If it needs to change, we could always change it. And then just a back patio that used to be here that goes outside the back door. So if you look out the back door, this shows you how old it was. That's an old concrete going on the floor, just copper piping. We need to come over and we need to put some concrete over top of that. We haven't done that yet and close that up. He needs to remove this pipe right here, which hasn't been done, and do a little bit of trim work in here. It's just a mud area, basically. Used to have the water heater and the air conditioner here. We took that out. So again, an old patio, got a new air conditioner, and it goes all the way back to line up right there where Amazon's got that humongous pile of rock and dirt. That's a lot of rock and dirt. So not sure how they're doing it. The building that they're putting up over here is coming up really well. You can't see it from where we are, but it's a big building. New windows throughout, new gutters, new soffits. So what you think dictates what we do, Nick?
What dictates what you do?
What dictates what we're doing with this house? How do we make the decisions how far to take it, how far not to take it?
In terms of developing it for commercial use?
Yeah.
Return on investment of certain things like...
So for me, everything is return on investment. If there's no return on my investment, I don't put no money in it, right? So I look at this already at a house. What needs to happen is this house needs to be torn down. What needs to happen is somebody needs to build a building in the back of the slot, or they can build a good sized building in the slot and still make it usable. They could do that. That is ideal. Now, somebody can rent this from me now. They can still put a building in the back and still work out of the back building too. That's an option if somebody wanted to do that. But I'm always just looking at the numbers. So I didn't put more money in it because I wanted to do what I needed to do to make it where somebody could move an office into here, because it'll bring $3,000 a month or so, $3,500 a month. And we'll let that, we're 800 feet from the interstate. So we're right here at the interstate. So it's right on the exit. And so it's a great location. So we just closed it off. We took this right here. There was a door over there from the hallway going in here. So we took that door out. We made the door here where this could be an office that would be easily accessible. This could be a good waiting room. Then we can put a receptionist right here. If we needed to put another desk over there, we could. If we needed to throw up another wall there, that's easy enough too. So that's not a big deal. If we needed to throw another wall up anywhere else, we can do that. So we can do whatever let's say somebody rents it, they're willing to give us a 5-year lease. So with a 5-year lease, I'm willing to come in here and throw a wall up here, throw a wall up there, make it work better for them if it doesn't work for them like it is. We can work with that. But I didn't want that. That other door was right here in the hallway, and I just didn't want it to be in here. The old existing bathroom, we really didn't do anything with it. It's exactly what it was. You can I can see pretty good. So we didn't change that. We just painted, and the tile was already in there. Then as far as the bedroom here, we didn't do anything. We drywalled everything. So everything has new drywall except for the ceilings. We did not re-drywall the ceilings because we would lose all the insulation up above it and we didn't want to deal with that. So we just left everything up there and came in and restalked the ceilings out. Same as all my other homes that you see, same recessed can lightings that we used in the other home that we just came from. We use it here.
So then what dictates what you do? The numbers?
It's the numbers. The numbers dictate what we do. You know, if we put $40,000 in there, but I'm able to charge another $1,000 a month for rent, that's 2.5%, right? Roughly off of the gross investment.
Right.
So we'll be able to, that'll cap rate out, 12% probably, 10 to 12% somewhere up in there in the end. There's no more investment in property. It's just invest there right there. Property taxes will be the same. Everything else will be the same. It's just be simple. So it's just a numbers game. If the numbers wouldn't work, then, we figure something else out. We already got the property. We bought the property dirt cheap when we bought it, so we didn't have a lot of money in the property. So we could afford to put something in. I've owned it for, 10 years. So after 10 years later down the road or 8 years later down the road, whatever it is, it's worth now at least 10 times what I paid for it. We had an offer for this property I paid $1,000 for this, or $100,000 for this piece of property and the property next to it at an auction about 10 years ago. We turned down an offer of $925,000 for just this piece of property.
Why'd you turn it down?
I just feel like if I just hang on to it for a few more years, let Amazon get up and running, let's watch this exit grow, I feel like I might can get better return on my investment. We still got to get the cash flow off of it for what we got in it. Now, my return on investment is great. My return on equity is not so. If you got $1 million piece of property, that property needs to be bringing in $8,000 to $10,000 a month. If it's not, you're not in a good position. Now, I could sell this. I don't have anywhere to roll the money to right now, and I got some other stuff that we're moving right now and working on. So just it's a timing issue for me. It's a lot of different scenarios that make me say no to that at the moment. And I'm not in a business to sell property. I'm in a business to hold it and doing everything I tell you not to do. Just listen to this video. I tell you, do not get emotionally involved in your property. It's not that I'm emotionally involved with it, but it just doesn't make sense yet. Now, I did a video the other day which I'm about that we probably need to liquidate almost all of our property because my return on equity across the board, my property is not good. So the better play, because if I sell this for $900,000, I got an $800,000 profit. So with that $800,000 of profit, I got to pay the federal government taxes on it. So then I would have to change and make a 1031 on it. So I would rather, if we're going to take and sell, let's say we want to sell $40 million worth of our properties, I would rather put those $40 million worth of properties in one bundle. I could sell them off, make them all the exact same closing date, and I could do that several different ways. I wouldn't bundle them and sell them to one investor because I would lose money like that. But I can bring it in and sell them and tell them, look, I need to do a lease option for 4 months. So you lease it from me for 4 months. At the end of the 4 months, you buy. And with that being said, that would give me 4 months to bring all the properties to one place and then bam, put a contract on them, sell them all. So we just work within the system to do something so we can move everything at one time and pay the least amount of taxes. I'm not into...
You then have to buy $40 million worth of property in the next 2 months in order to do that?
But what's $40 million worth of property look like?
Could be one skyscraper.
It could be two $20 million apartment complexes. It's not hard to find a $20 million apartment complex to buy. So we just roll it into something like that. So the cool thing is because where we are, I'm only getting depreciation on less than $100,000 for this particular piece of property because they're going to take the property out of the scenario and then put the house in it. So I paid $100,000 for it. So I may only be getting $75,000 worth of depreciation. But I roll this into a bigger project. That's another 3.6% depreciation, depending on what the property is, 2.7. But I want to roll it into something and I get the full amount of depreciation off of too. So it's just strategically, right now is not the time for me personally. We will make that play whenever we're confident. We're still, we're still rehabbing the 2 neighborhoods we bought last year. So we're really pumping a bunch of money, and I don't want to put more distractions out there than what I need. I don't want to put more pressure on us than what we need. We just slow and steady doing what we do, making it happen. Just another, and these used to be bedrooms, but now they'll just be a little office. So it'll have 3 different offices in here. If they want to add another one, it could be 4. If they want to put a shop in the back and do something in the back, they can do that also. So what happens with that? So let's say I lease this to somebody and they say, well, we want to lease it, but we want to put a shop in the back. I can sign a 5-year contract. So how would I do that? Because once they put a shop in the back, it makes it worth more money. But to who does it make it worth more money? To me. They get the usage of it, but they don't own the shop that they built in the back. So how does that protect them? What I would do in that case is I would probably tell them, hey, I'll give you a 5-year lease option on that. In the end of the 5 years, you get the same, your rent's going to go up to 3% or whatever we put in the contract a year, but I won't charge you any extra money for that shop for at least 5 years. But at the end of the 5-year period of time, they could maybe have the option to buy it, or I just say, hey, I'm going to actually charge for the extra lease of the property for the usage of the property. In my eyes, it would be fair to give them a certain amount of time before we say, hey, I'm going to go up on rent. The guy next door did all the repair work to that place whenever he rented it because it was falling down. I was going to tear the place down. He came in and did a bunch of work. I didn't up his rent for 5 years. I figured he put his own personal money in that to do that. So it'll be the same thing here. They would put their own personal money in to build it. So it'll compensate them and hopefully wash it out of the rents through that period of time. And then, bam. Now, if they said, hey, we want to build this building, I guess the next question is, would I build the building for them? Hey, I'm willing to give you an additional $2,000 a month in rent, but I need a 2,000 square foot metal building back there. Will you do it for me? For me, at that particular point in time, it becomes a numbers game. So it's a numbers game of what's it going to cost me to put the building up? What am I going to get out of rents? Those numbers would probably make sense. But then the next question I got is, I got a property worth roughly close to $1 million right now, if not $1 million. I put that building up back there. Does it make this property worth more money? I don't think so. Because I think the land value is what's the most valuable thing here.
Because it's potential.
The potential. I mean, McDonald's comes in here, somebody like that comes in here and they want to scrape everything off this ground and they want to put a McDonald's, a Wendy's, a Burger King, a Chick-fil-A. They want to put something like that right here at this exit. And this lot is plenty big enough for something. I would rather tear this place down, even for the same money. I would rather tear this place down and bring something in here that's going to help the community and help this exit grow and help everything around here more so than just leave this house here. I don't know. That's a hard, ain't something I thought about really, but that's a hard question. What do you do? If it's their money coming out of their pocket, then I'll probably ride it out and let them do it. My money out of their pocket, I don't know that I would do it because eventually I'm going to sell. And if I sell, I'm going to be a whole lot less likely to tear on a building that I built than a building somebody else built and I had no money invested in it. Rough decision. But those are the things that we get. So we get to figure that out. So this used to be a back door going into the other area right past here. So we took this, I threw a wall up, and we just put in here water heater, and then we put the air conditioner system over here, made this a little utility closet.
Did we fix the door?
We did fix the door. So when the door went in, it was dragging, and
it was actually upside down.
It was upside down. So we had to come in and do that. Any other questions?
No.
Anything you want to see different? Something you don't like? I'm not a fan of the stomp ceilings. The guy that came in and restomped everything for me, he did a really good job, so I don't have any complaints about that. I'm just not a huge fan of that being stomped like that. Yeah. But anyway, it will all be good.